Welcome back to the Investor Shed podcast with your host, Nick Beveridge, and the beautiful and charming Jeremy Kitchen, as always. You're beautiful and charming as well, Nick Beveridge.
But you're more charming, and you always have been.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
You can take that to the bank, Senator.
Quoting Steven Seagal right out of the bank. I love it. This is good. Speaking of the bank, we got one where we're actually, I don't even know what that segment
We're going to take a deal to the bank.
We are going to take a deal to the bank. Yeah, I had something there, but it didn't quite come to fruition, if that makes sense.
So we've been hearing your feedback lately, and you guys want more case studies. And
We're
going to give you a case study today.
Yeah.
A case study of a deal in the making.
Mm-hmm.
In the making, as in it's a new fix and flip.
It's in utero right now.
And it's under contract.
Mm-hmm.
I have it under contract. You're going to be a part of it. I have an inspection today, a home inspection.
Mm-hmm.
So there's still a chance I might back out of it. Very unlikely.
Sure.
And let's get into it. Let's get into all the fun details about how I bought it, how I found it. Sorry.
Yep.
How I found it, how I'm buying it, how I'm funding it, how I'm going to renovate it, approximately how much am I going to make off of it,
Yeah.
and how to analyze a deal like this.
I love it.
Does that sound all right with you guys?
Yeah.
Is that okay, or have we lost you already?
We're asking permission and we're not live, so like you're here for the case study. Let's give them the case study.
Okay, fine. But before we start, we'd like to thank our sponsor today, Zevia. Zevia, Mountain Zevias. These are just like Mountain Dews, only without the sugar.
I don't even know.
Or
if
the
I want
good
it.
taste.
Do I want?
Let's try it.
Tell
Tell
say-
them what you think.
We say sponsor on this episode very loosely, by the way. They have not endorsed us, nor are they paying for anything we're doing. But it does match like our feng shui right here, so I think that's kind of cool. Let's
Okay.
So you're supposed to do this like wine, all right? So you roll the ladle,
Try it.
roll the ladle, smell the bouquet. You check the.
Does it smell like? It smells like Mountain Dew, doesn't it?
It does. It smells like Sprite.
Oh, it's not Sprite. I have fake Sprite in the garage too.
Let's see. You got to aerate it with your mouth like coffee.
Oh yeah. People listening to the audio love this. Too much carbonation. Not enough.
TMC.
Okay.
That's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay, Mountain Dew.
Yeah. I mean, I'll drink it. I opened it. Like, I'm not going to let it go bad.
Zero calorie and no aspartame. That's pretty good.
I like my aspartame, man. Like, if I'm paying,
Ouch.
you're paying more money for less ingredients.
You just lost all of our Alex Jones fans.
Oh, no. I fucked up.
Okay.
We're turning this guy off. Mr. Aspartame over
Guy
here.
likes aspartame. Fuck him.
Yeah. All right. We're 3 minutes in. Let's start diving into this deal.
Okay. All right. So about a week and a half ago or so, a deal was brought to me. Now, a little bit of background.
Yeah.
In case y'all don't know, my name's Nick Beveridge. I've flip houses. I also have rental properties, doing a development right now. I'm a real estate agent. That I spend about half my time doing real estate deals with other investors and buyers and sellers. So that's my full-time job is I'm a real estate agent. My other full-time job is I'm a real estate opportunist, I guess, a residential opportunist. And any great deals that come my way that are just too stupid to pass up, those are the deals I like. I call them like a bag of money I found on the ground.
Right.
And when I find a bag of money on the ground, I usually take my piece.
Sure.
I take my cut.
Yeah.
I'll spread it around if it makes sense. But
Let's back up a little bit on this one. You said this deal came to you, so you didn't have to actually go like looking for this deal. Is that correct?
no.
Okay.
No. So this deal came to me from a wholesaler, but it was from a wholesaler that we kind of set up a little bit. And we helped him with marketing ideas. We helped him with the what this property could be worth if he gets it under contract, what it can sell for, that kind of stuff. So we helped the wholesaler analyze the deal, and then they're selling it to us directly.
Gotcha. So that helps to build that relationship and have that piece in your pocket, correct?
Yeah. So I'm big on networking. You know, I've been doing a networking event for the last 10 years. And if I wasn't hosting a networking event, I know that that's the best source of deals. I would just go to networking events and not have to host it. So that's how I've been sourcing the majority of my deals over the last decade.
Yeah.
Is just meeting people on a regular basis. That's kind of my lead gen,
right?
Sort of say I don't have any marketing expenses other than I heavily network.
Right.
Other people get deals by marketing directly to sellers and spending money. or
Which works too, but-
or they'll go door knock, or they'll, there's all kinds of different ways to go get deals that usually cost money and time.
Right.
I like to be heavy on the networking aspect and
Sure.
and try to just network with the right people that are putting a lot more effort and money into getting a deal under contract, but that don't necessarily have the intentions to go all the way with it.
Sure.
Just want to offload it.
Yeah.
Those are the people I like to work with.
Absolutely. No, that makes sense. So you got this from a wholesaler. You're under contract right now.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah. So it's a little house in Kellogg.
Mhm.
And Kellogg is outside of Coeur d'Alene, about 45 minutes outside of Coeur d'Alene. I would love to just flip houses right here in my own backyard and be close. But the reality is the really good juicy deals are within an hour or so outside of the
Yeah.
hot spots of Coeur d'Alene. There's just more opportunities, I feel like,
Right.
for me anyway.
Sure.
And it's easier to be in a more obtainable price point for most buyers.
This neighborhood in Coeur d'Alene, Post Falls specifically, it's hard to even find flips in. I was
Yeah.
shooting on a real estate. I'll let you get to your thing in just a minute, but I was shooting a house on Saturday. The house needed a lot of work, like heavy cosmetic renovation, very old 70s appliances, carpets, flooring type of thing, paint. And I just asked the real estate agent, I'm like, hey, how much is this? Just like, I don't know, like maybe it's in my price point.
Yeah.
Turned out it was like $389 and it's a split level in Post Falls. I'm like, doesn't really make sense. Like at that price point, if I'm going to have to put this work in to get it up to a $420,000 price, you know what I mean?
Yeah. A lot of those,
Mhm.
in town, you got to like spend the amount of money that you would just bring it up to its market value.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Of course, and that wasn't coming from a wholesaler. That was just coming from a real estate agent, of course, who was putting it on the market. So I understand there wasn't going to be any equity, but it's important to ask these questions.
Yeah.
Right? Because
Mhm.
they very well could have been like trying to offload it very quickly before it goes on market, and there could have been a pain point that they could have solved. Hey, we
Yeah.
just need to get this thing sold. It's in state sale, blah blah blah. They're looking for they can accept terms.
Yeah.
Great, let's talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's other opportunities there, but I think with your deal, you are right. Things out of Kootenai County at the moment, there's a little bit more meat on the bone, if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I'm wrapping up a flip right now in Bonners Ferry, which is an hour and 15 minutes north of us.
Yeah.
And that was a house that I bought for 110 grand.
Yeah.
But it needed a ton of work.
Right.
Over 100, pretty much 100 grand of work.
Mhm.
But I'm going to be able to resell it pretty easily and quickly, I'm sure, for 325-ish in that price point. There's a larger amount of buyers in that price point for a house like this that's turnkey.
Mhm.
Than if I were in that same area in the 500s or something like that. It's just going to sit on the market a lot longer.
Sure.
So that's what my new, and I've been through a few years ago where I was flipping more in town, like Coeur d'Alene, Post Falls, Hayden.
Yeah.
And I was taking on larger risk, good deals at the time. But like what I learned was when you're doing these big renovations in town with higher costs, interest costs and stuff adds up a lot.
Sure.
And holding cost on a house in Coeur d'Alene that you can buy for 500 and maybe flip for 800 with 100 grand of work.
Right.
I mean, you're paying $5 grand a month just for holding costs, and that can eat away at your profits really quickly.
Yep. 12 months in a loan like that's 60 grand out the window, right? Like
just in the interest, not the points alone, not concerning market fluctions. And then the amount of buyers in that 800 to 900 range, like that's so much smaller. It's so much smaller, and they're so picky, and that if it's not in the perfect location, you might have to sell for much less than you think. And that happened to me on a few houses. So I like to stick to things that are a little bit more predictable. This house that I'm getting right now, it does not need much renovation at all. It actually, the one thing that was very attractive for me, other than the price point of buying it, I'm buying it for $260, but it was renovated under 10 years ago.
Okay.
I was able to do some research on the MLS and see that it sold in 2018. But just a couple years prior to that, I saw that it was fully renovated. So it's already had all the major guts of the house redone.
That's awesome.
So now all it needs is just a cosmetic, the last 8 years or so, the people that lived there last, they just kind of lived in it pretty hard.
Sure.
cosmetically. So a lot of the kitchen cabinets, the bathrooms, all that stuff, we don't have to touch.
Nice. That's awesome.
It's just interior. It needs a paint job on the interior, the exterior, a little bit of landscape cleanup,
Cool.
and some flooring work. And that's about it as far as I know. Now, I haven't walked through it yet. That's just
Okay.
from
Yeah, I was
looking
gonna
at a
ask
bunch
if
of
you've actually
photos. I
walked
will
through it.
walk through it this afternoon to confirm all this. But that doesn't, the funny thing is, I have it under contract. I haven't even walked through it yet, but that's fine.
Right.
Other
You're in
people
your
have
due
walked through
diligence
it. I still have a chance to back out if it's not going to work.
period.
But overall, quick numbers, and then we'll get in a deeper dive.
Real quick, is it currently occupied, or did the people
It's
move out?
occupied.
Yeah. Are they planning on moving out?
They're going to stay in it for a month after we close.
Gotcha. And that's all in the contract and everything, right? Okay.
And
cool.
that's pretty typical with these good juicy deals where things are being bought off market by wholesalers.
Right.
Sometimes they need to sweeten a deal to get a discount on a property, and this person, they bought the house back in 2018, 2019 and got it for 149,000 or something, 145.
Yeah.
But prices back then, in the Kellogg area, prices have almost tripled in Shoshone County.
Yeah.
Since then. In Coeur d'Alene, prices have kind of doubled since then. But over in Shoshone County, in general, they've almost tripled.
Right.
So I know, just quick rule of thumb, if they bought it for 150-ish, it's got to be close to, almost triple that is like, what,
450 would be
450, 350. Yeah, so I suppose I think I was conservative with this thing should sell for like 375 or so, at least.
Yeah.
Once it's fixed up. But they're getting a decent amount of change. The sellers, probably more money than they've ever seen in their lives.
Yeah.
They're going to get over $100,000 at closing.
Nice.
And they have a month with that money to move out to find something new.
Cool.
And I think they're planning on moving up to Sagal or something like that.
Cool.
And the cool thing is I'm not dealing with them directly at all.
Right.
I didn't have to sell them on that or anything. I'm just taking over I'm buying the contract.
Right.
The right to buy that house. I'm buying the option, like we talked about stock trading last week, where I was buying options and then trading options. This is like an option in real estate.
Right.
And it's an option to purchase this property for this price point by the closing date.
Yeah.
Which I purchased that option.
You purchased that option, so you paid for that.
Call it assignment.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't have to relate to the people doing stocks on this episode.
For those that are new to real estate, but they're experienced with stock trading, this is we're trading in options here.
Yeah, it's option trading, which you told me you're not doing anymore, but that's okay.
A little bit.
Here we are. My.
Yeah.
Okay, so you bought this house. It's in Kellogg.
Didn't buy yet. I'm buying.
You are buying, yes. The thing I like about Kellogg, obviously, is like you don't see a ton of appreciation, but it seems to be like a stable market out there.
It had a lot of appreciation.
It did have a lot of appreciation, but that sort of
simmered down.
Yeah. But you got was it Schweitzer out there?
Silver Mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just
Dave
a cool
Smith
little resort
Motors.
place
You've got Walmart out there.
Yeah,
they've got the Dollar General that was just built, a Dollar Tree.
Nice.
They got a lot of people on welfare, which is all fun.
It's like an old mining town, basically.
Yeah.
For anybody who's never been to Kellogg and Wallace are just you feel like you've stepped into a time machine when you go into Wallace and Kellogg.
But the biggest thing since COVID, sorry to interrupt you though, is like these little towns, they don't quite have the barrier, the burden that they used to in real estate investing, where you were just stuck to a limited amount of buyers.
Yeah.
Now people can expand, and a lot of people work from home.
Yeah.
So if this works for people, if like, hey, this is a great house for $365 or whatever, and it's close to the mountain, they don't have to rely on working at Walmart to afford it. A lot of these people can work from home. There's Starlink with great internet.
Yeah.
They do have fiber internet over there, I think like Sunlink or something like that. But some things to be aware of, like where are your buyers coming from?
Yeah.
And is there enough?
For sure.
Yeah, but sorry, go ahead.
No, that's all I was saying. Basically, it feels like you step into a time machine over there, so things feel a little old timey.
Yeah,
but there are still plenty of opportunities. Like I still get lots of opportunities from wholesalers in that area as well. So people are looking, people are selling. More importantly, I think people are buying because of that price point as well.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
A lot of it is just more affordable to live out there. Maybe some people are they'll deal with the commute. Hey, it's a larger house for my family. I live and work I work in Coeur d'Alene. Now I can I'll just live there and make the trip.
Not that bad. It's like 45 minutes.
It's not that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. 50 minutes ish.
Yeah. Depends on where you're at, but yeah, I hear
depends on the time of year too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, how can I acquire this thing? Okay, so I don't have $260,000. Where do I get the money?
Gee, Nick, where would you get the money on a real estate deal for? I don't know.
Well, for those that don't know, there's tricks you can do. Now I have the privilege of being an experienced real estate investor, and I have a couple of rental properties. And I have a few flips going on. I've got 4 other projects going on. And I have a few other rentals, and I use my rentals, me personally, as collateral to get these loans if I feel like it's a good loan. I'm not too over leveraged.
Right.
I feel like it's a great price point. That the house that I'm buying, it's got to be worth, without me doing any work to it, at least $300,000. Okay. At least. So I know I'm buying into like $40,000 of equity almost.
That's good.
Now, when you buy into that equity, there's still selling costs, so that goes down.
Right.
But I know I'm buying it for less than what I can sell it for, and still turn a small profit.
Yeah, and you're at an advantage too because you are a real estate agent, so you don't have to, like, when you sell this thing, you don't have to pay a real estate agent.
I do.
You have to pay whoever's coming in as
it's just I get a discount because I don't have to pay myself.
Exactly.
Now I still do pay myself. I still keep it separate,
as you should,
because I have partners in my real estate business that want to get paid too. Right. It is a nice advantage though, because I just, it's just an extra little income source.
Yeah, just a little.
But I do still see it as for my flipping business. My flipping business is separate, and it still pays the expense of the real estate commission.
Right.
But as a real estate agent, it's like a nice little source of, oh, cool. We get a little money there, and the client's a little bit easier to deal with because it's me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. So you get a little discount on that. That's what I mean. You don't like lose. You don't make money.
But I still charge myself. I see it as, instead of I get a little discount, I get a little income.
I like it.
And that makes me happier than a discount.
Yeah.
Me personally, some people just love discounts more than they love income. I like a little extra income on an expected expense.
Yeah. I like it.
If that makes sense.
It does make sense.
I don't have money. So what do I do? Now I've got a hard money lender relationship, which isn't hard to make. If hard money lenders, there's a lot of them out there.
Right.
Some of them are easier to deal with than others. A lot of them are kind of looking for the same thing though. Yeah. They're looking for approximately to be in a loan at like 70% or so or less the loan to value.
Yep.
So if a property, for simple math, if a property is worth $100,000, most hard money lenders don't want to be exposed over $70,000 in that loan.
Right. So
they'll make a loan for $70,000, and if something fails, if they have to take the property back, at least it's worth $100,000. So when they go to resell it, they probably won't lose money, because even though 10% will be gone,
right,
with selling costs, another few percent will be gone with attorney's costs taking it back and stuff. At least they just won't lose money. Yeah. They'll probably still make money and their interest.
Yeah.
If they're in a loan at 70%, and if the borrower screws them over by simply not making payments and becomes tough to deal with, and then they have to foreclose. But a lot of lenders still even want a little bit more than that to be safe and extra secure and make a no-brainer type of loan.
It also depends on the deal too, because if we're trying to fund like a vacant land deal, that's going to have a you need to bring a higher down payment or higher collateral for a vacant land deal versus something that's a fix and flip that has intrinsic value built into it.
Yeah.
So
I've got this and most of the time the easiest way for lenders to be comfortable is when you just bring cash to the table.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm going to buy this deal. It's a great deal. It's a 70% deal, meaning like I'm getting it for 70% of what it's worth. And just quick little math here. Where's my calculator? We're recording with my phone, so I can't just whip out my phone.
Here, I'll get it.
Oh, thank you. And then my calculator app's not on my bar down here. Anyway, if you take the after repair value of this property at $375,000, that's what I think that it will be worth after it's fixed up. Fixed up meaning just carpet and paint and stuff.
Right. Getting it to the point where it's on market and it's comparable to what other houses are selling for
Yep.
condition wise, right?
So what you do is you take that 375,000 number,
Mhm.
which you would probably, if you're new at this, you would get that number from like a real estate agent, or two. Try to get some
It's called running
multiple
comps.
opinions.
Yeah. Just have them run comparables in the area.
Comparables to get an idea. What should your property be worth after it's fixed up? What should it sell for?
And do this with real estate agents. We talked about this before, but do this with real estate agents that you plan on working with.
Yeah.
Don't just utilize
don't
anybody to be like, hey, I need this number, and then don't use them. That's just not good business etiquette. Do it with a real estate agent like, hey, I'm going to be selling this flip here in a few months. I'd be really interested in using you as my realtor, of course. Would you mind running me some comparables in the area to see what I can see what the house sells for when it sells?
Right. Yeah. What is fixed up? And give them an idea too what you're planning to do to it.
Yep.
Instead of just what's this worth fixed up? Because fixed up to somebody, everybody's going to think of something different in their head when they think of fixed up.
Yep.
Oh, you're going to install granite countertops and all this stuff, and then some people are like, oh, you're just going to clean the carpets.
Right.
There's
a difference.
Be a little specific about how much you intend to invest money wise and what it's going to look like.
Yeah.
With this one, I'm intending to paint the exterior, paint the interior, redo the flooring, and clean up the landscaping a little bit.
Yeah.
And by doing those items, I'm pretty sure it's going to sell around 365 to 385, somewhere in there. So we'll just call it 375.
Cool.
Take that, multiply it by 0.7.
0.7, yep. And then you're going to get 262,500.
262,500, yeah.
And you bought it for 262.
And I'm buying it for 260.
Right.
So now you take that number that you got and you subtract $10,000.
For what?
And that's your renovation cost. So I'm going to spend about $10,000 fixing it up, maybe a little bit more. So if you want a fast and hard 70% deal, you should be buying it for closer to 252.
Right.
But the numbers still work for me because it's a smaller renovation.
Right.
Now, typically, if I want a 70% deal, I definitely want that on bigger renovations where I'm doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Mechanicals, changing out HVAC, plumbing, electrical, because there's just so much more that could go wrong. You need more fluff. Now, I know I'm just doing cosmetic and I'm getting an inspection too.
Right.
So my renovation costs are going to be more fixed. So I'm comfortable buying it at 260. And I know that I can't really get much less than that unless we renegotiate with the sellers.
Right.
Because the wholesalers are getting it for 250.
Right. So the wholesalers only get like a $10,000 piece of the pie, basically.
Yeah. They got to get their taste for doing all their work. Their taste is $10,000.
So for anybody listening, just real important right here. So the wholesaler said he would buy the house for $250,000.
Yeah.
Him or somebody he knows in the contract, because it's going to be assignable.
Yep.
Right. So then he goes over and he sells it to you for $260. So then when you complete that contract, it does the whole thing, and then they get paid the $10,000 off the top. Correct.
Right.
Yep.
But in reality, I'm buying it for $250.
Right.
I'm just paying at closing a $10,000 assignment fee to the wholesaler that brought me the property.
Yep.
So I'm buying the option for $10,000 to buy the house for $250.
Right.
But I just call it, I'm buying it for $260.
For simplicity.
Just for simplicity.
It's kind of the same thing, but yeah.
That's just what I think of in my head.
Right.
I'm buying it for $260.
Right.
But in reality, I'm buying it for $250.
Right.
The option cost me $10,000 to buy it.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
And the option only cost me money when I close on it.
Yep.
But I have $5,000 at risk right now
with your earnest money.
With my earnest money.
Yep. And then you're getting an inspection, and that's probably $600 ish.
Yeah, pretty close. It's like $550.
Yeah.
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 So
I mean, like,
that's an expense.
Right.
That's something that's coming out of my bank account before I close on it, whether I close on it or not. So that's my actual money at risk.
And your earnest money, it's going towards the deal, correct? So that is money.
Earnest money's going towards the deal.
So it's not like you're like losing out on that money. If you complete this deal, you will lose that money if you back out for no reason.
Right.
But you have an inspection and you have a due diligence period. So that's why we have these things.
Now, most wholesalers will they want non-refundable earnest money from you, so you probably you're at risk if you back out of losing your earnest money too.
Right.
I know that the guys I'm dealing with, if there's something significantly wrong with this property, I can back out and get my money back. But we won't talk about that on this episode much. Just know that you're definitely your inspection money that you put out there, that is going away.
I'd say it's going away, but it's going
it's
away
an investment.
Yes, absolutely.
It's a due diligence cost that is worth the money.
Right. Like if you were to tell me like, hey, you could get a piece of paper, you could have someone look at this property to make sure it's exactly what people are saying for $600. It's basically like a homeowner's insurance policy. Basically, like if this doesn't go through, I can back out.
It's 100-page report on the house and every component of the house that's been, rigorously looked over, for 4 to 5 hours by a professional that looks at houses.
What I love about this, I know you're not going to do this on this property, but you take these inspection reports and you basically use that as your scope of work. You're like, okay, cool. Like I need to do this, because these are the things that people have called out.
Right.
And it's actually like very valuable to have an inspection.
Yeah. It's actually, I throw it in part of my, my bookkeeping. It wouldn't matter if I threw it in as part of like the renovation cost,
an expense because it's a business expense.
But it all just goes towards the deal. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
It's just something to know that if you don't close on the money or on the deal, your home inspector is not going to like refund you the $500 or whatever you're spending on
that. Services paid for services rendered. Yes.
Yeah. So there is risk. But when you're playing with these big boy deals, this is small potatoes. Right. $500 doesn't mean much. Right. And if it means a lot to you, don't start flipping houses right now.
Yeah.
You got to work your way up.
Do you need calculators still? You good?
No, we're good. Okay, I've got a spreadsheet.
Cool.
I've also got a spreadsheet available for people online that has been worked on over time, and it's really good. You can find it on our website at northidahorei.com. You have to hit a button to request it now, but it's the newest analyzer where actually on
share screen.
I'm going to share my screen. I will. For those that are watching the podcast on YouTube, here we go. I'm going to share my screen, entire screen, share. And check this out. Okay, so we've got it updated here to where you just simply fill in 7 spots with the green boxes. So I'm purchasing it for $260.
Yep.
I've got a renovation of $13,000, which I know it's going to be about 10, but I've got a budget of 13.
And that's good to have like kind of a range for what you're thinking, right? Because obviously people get into these deals like, oh, this is going to cost me $20,000. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
I've never gone under a renovation budget on any of our flips.
Yeah.
You always find something more. There's always an additional holding cost. There's always something else that pops up. So give yourself a little buffer in your renovations, just from me to you right here.
Yeah.
I know we're not talking about that today, but I think that's important. So
all this takes to spend an extra $3,000 is that the water heater doesn't work all of a sudden. And the fridge needs to be replaced.
Yep.
Little things like that.
Yep.
And then it's like, bam. So on the smaller, quick renovations, things can go up pretty quickly in relation to like the percentage of your renovation. So just, I like to always budget. If it's going to be a $10,000 job, budget a few thousand more.
Yeah.
15.
I'd say like 20 to 30% above what you think for your rehab is a good estimate. Are you including the fridge in this house?
Hey, quick commercial break here. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. I really do appreciate it. If you want to give back, let me help you buy a house, or I can help you sell a house. It's the only way I make money when I'm not investing in real estate. I don't make money on this podcast or the events I do, but I do make money only when I help people buy and sell houses. So if you're looking for your next investment and you're here in North Idaho, I want to help you personally. If you are not in North Idaho, I can still help you out. I have a vast network of referral partners all across the country, and I can find the right real estate investor savvy agent for you so you don't have to. It doesn't cost you a thing. Thank you for your support. Back to the show. The fridge is being included in the purchase, so I don't actually have to replace any of the appliances on this deal. Yeah, which is something critical to kind of be aware of before you buy and you figure out your renovation. So I know most of the money is going towards paint and flooring and some landscape cleanup in this one, like 85% of the money. Okay, so if you fill out your purchase price, your renovation, and your ARV. I've actually got my ARV at $365,000. I know we talked about $375,000. I like to be a little bit more conservative in these sheets.
Yeah.
Just and a little bit more realistic. Like, hey, I might just end up listing it for $365,000 depending on what's on the market. So let's just put it there.
Sure.
Maybe it'll sell faster. Total holding days. Now, see, this one's not in green, so I don't mess with that. But you run down to this green one and it says renovation days. How long is it going to take you to renovate this property? One thing I actually should increase this to 60 because I forgot that I'm letting them stay in the property
Yep.
for 30 days after we close.
So you're going to need 30 days to let them live and then 30 days to renovate it, basically.
Yeah. And it's actually going to probably take 2 weeks to renovate, but I like to always double my renovation time.
Yep.
Because it is almost always double. It will take a week just to like get a final cleaning and staging and photos and get it on the market. So always budget. A week is just magically going to disappear no matter what,
Right.
ever.
Yeah.
And then an extra, 30% time. It's going to be a 2-week job, so it's probably going to be 3 weeks and then another week to get ready. So,
are you going to work on this one yourself, or are you going to hire?
No, it's all hired out.
Cool.
Yeah. Yep. And I've got somebody that lives in that area that's going to work on it for me.
Right. Do you have that cost included in your? Is that included in your renovation budget?
Yes.
Okay. Great.
So this one, days to sell. You can mess with that if you want. It's not necessarily in green. It's just guessing on average. It's usually going to take people 90 days to sell the property. So you can change that. It's not in green, so you don't have to worry about it. This one in green, loan amount of purchase price. I'm actually getting a loan for $270,000.
Yeah.
The purchase price is $250,000. I have to pay a wholesaler $10,000, so I'm actually buying it for $260,000. But my lender said, let's go ahead and do a loan for $270,000.
Yeah.
No, so that's kind of nice. I'll get a little bit of cash back when I close, but this will help me with some of the going over, recapturing my earnest money. It will help with some of the closing costs, because there are closing costs when I close, a few $1,000s worth.
Yep.
So I'll actually get a little bit of money back, which is always helpful when I start a project, to not have an empty bank account, but just a little bit of money to get going.
Yeah.
And then get, reimbursed stuff later. My insurance, this is something you can change, but it's not in green. This is estimated a little heavy, of $150 a month. Utilities, $225 a month. That sounds good. That's extra conservative.
Can I pause you here real quick? Because I have a couple questions. So the things that aren't in green, they don't mess with your formula?
They do.
Oh, they do. Okay.
The things in green is what we recommend you change on each deal.
Sure. Okay. So if you change like the days to sell, it's going to change your whole formula, correct? On holding days? Yeah.
This will still affect everything.
Still update everything and update your numbers.
But we'll, to keep things simple and to quickly analyze a deal, you only need to worry about 7 boxes for the most part. I'm just going over what's here and how the deal analyzer comes to its conclusion.
Yeah.
So this already figures in your loan amount if you put in your percentage. I put in 104 because that gets us close to $270,000 loan. I'm going to pay 1 point, which is 1% of the loan amount.
Right.
Now, typical hard money is like closer to 3 or so. I've just done so much business with this hard money lender. He only charges me a point.
Yeah.
And I make it easy on him. The reason why it's actually cheaper is because I do almost everything that he expects that he would have to do due diligence on a deal. And he can look over a deal in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have to take hours to look over something or, or do research or get other people to show him comps. And because with hard money lenders, they typically make their money back, with the time invested in due diligence of the deal.
Yeah.
I try to make things as easy as possible, and he makes things cheap for me.
Yeah.
And then the interest rate is 10%. That's interest only annually. Okay. So
now you don't have my costs in here.
I don't.
Yeah. So it's not going to make or break your deal, of course, because I'm not taking a huge piece of this pie.
But I can take it off the profit.
But you can take it off the profit, correct?
When I'm looking at this. So we'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
So you'll see over here in this box, net profit shows $49,018. That's a net margin of 13.4%, and it's in green. If it's in green, that means it's a good deal.
Yeah.
And this has already got all my selling costs figured in too. So this is approximately what I'm going to net before any additional splits with anybody.
Right.
That I haven't disclosed with the sheet, but it's trying to figure out every other penny involved in this transaction for me.
Yeah.
Now this renovation of 13,000, that's where you step in and you are lending me that money for an 18% return annually. So
that's what you sent me, by the way. I didn't negotiate 18.
Right.
I probably would have done less, but
I know you would have.
Yeah.
But I knew this was going to be a shorter deal.
Right. And that's part of it too. Like, I'm like, okay, if we're only going to keep this for
worth
4, Or I can do a 6-month loan for 16. You know what I mean? Like, it makes sense. So I get it. Yeah.
So out of this $49,000 projected profit, if it sells for 365, and if I spend 13,000 in the rehab, I'm also going to pay you a split. You're loaning me this extra 13 grand that I need to renovate the property.
Yep.
From your IRA, right?
401k on this.
401k.
Yep.
From your 401k. So how does that work? Do you have to do any paperwork to send that to escrow, or you send it to me directly?
I'm going to send it directly to you. You and I have done enough business where we don't need to include third-party title companies, escrow, anything like that. Really what it does is I have checkbook control of my 401k, and I can invest it into what's called alternative access.
You got checkbooks.
I got checkbook control. So really,
do you have an LLC set up for that?
Yep.
For 401k?
Gingersnap Media. They set it up automatically. I didn't get to choose a name for it.
You didn't get to choose a name?
Yeah.
Those bastards.
Gingersnap Media Retirement Trust or something like that.
Okay. Well, that sounds cool.
Yeah, it's still cool on paper. The checks look cool. Anyway, what you and I will do is we'll write a promissory note for the loan. We can secure it.
Will we write it, or will somebody else write it for us?
I don't think somebody will write it. I think something will write it.
We're talking Grok 4 here.
We're Grok 4.0, baby.
Oh, Grok 4.
I was gonna say ChatGPT, but I'm clearly in the wrong.
I switched my subscriptions.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like chat. I do like ChatGPT, but I've been noticing the last few months, it's just lying to me all the time.
First of all,
it just wants to make me feel good, and it just says whatever. It just gives an answer without doing any research.
Because you trained this thing to basically lie for you.
That's not true.
That's
not true.
I can't do this with my IRA, and then you keep pummeling until it's like, fine.
That's not how AI works.
I don't know, man. The way I've seen some of the things you prompt it, and I'm like, okay.
I just asked. So how can we do this? How can we do this?
You're leading a horse to water, and it's like,
well, I guess you could.
Well,
I got it to think harder.
Yeah.
What I'm talking about is something else.
Right.
But I just know. I like Grok 4.
Yeah, and that's fine. I used ChatGPT last night for I decided I needed general liability waivers on my car.
Oh, okay.
And the reason is like clients always ask me to help with weird shit. Hey, can you help me like hand move this trailer? Can you help me move this furniture? I just have to have people sign a waiver before I touch any of their shit now.
Okay.
I don't want to get sued. Hey, by the way, this is outside of my normal scope of work.
How often are they like, never mind?
I haven't actually. I just printed them out.
Oh, okay.
So, but like, I moved like a big trailer that's like hauling shit, and we moved it out on the road, and it was on a sloped road, and I'm like pulling this thing up downhill, and I'm like, this is a stupid idea. And the lady had no idea how to hold this trailer down.
Oh, geez.
She didn't have any like blocks or anything, so I'm helping her with that, and I'm like, I need to fucking have a waiver for this stuff. Like, this is going to be something that if this gets in a wreck and I'm liable for it, it's way bigger than me.
How about you just like, I don't move trailers.
No, and like that's what this kind of is like. Hey, I'm happy to help, but this is what we call out of my normal scope of work. It's nothing bad.
You should just say my boss requires me to have these.
I do that. Yeah,
you pretend you're not the owner.
Absolutely.
That's an easy way to do it. I bet.
You know what else I do? That's like so when people are trying to sell you something at like Fred Meyer, you know how there's always AT&T there, or people just selling you stuff.
I never really walk through Fred Meyer anymore.
Anyway, there's always like a phone service trying to sell you something somewhere. I always just say that I have that phone service. Like, they're like, oh, do you want? I'm like, actually, my employer already pays for AT&T. They don't. But then they're like, oh, cool, thanks. And then I don't have to have
they probably feel better about that than you're just like, shut up.
Yeah. And it makes
Leave me alone.
That's how I feel inside, because I don't want to be sold. But it's just easier to be like, oh, yeah, I already use that service. It's great. And then just keep walking. So there's a tip for you. But let's get back to analyzing this deal. So yeah, I'm going to be using my 401k. I've got checkbook control. You and I or Grok 4.0 are going to set up a promissory note. And
it's just Grok 4.
Grok 4, not 4.0?
Nope. Just Grok 4.
That sounds like it's missing an opportunity. Just what if it's like 4.5? What if it gets an upgrade on version 4?
I mean, that's more ChatGPT's thing.
Okay.
I don't control the names.
Yeah, that's fine. Anyway, we're going to use that, and we're going to use it to set us up a promissory note. And this is not what I do with all my people who I do loans with, by the way. Typically, I'm securing it with a deed of trust or a mortgage of some sort.
Yeah.
But Nick and I have such a working relationship that I'm like, all right, you'll take care of me.
Yeah.
But we'll do that, and then I'll just give you a check.
Well, sweet. Thanks.
It's going to be very easy.
Yeah. And we've done it before.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's one more thing I should mention. Well, we briefly talked about it, but like how I'm still able to get a loan like that, where the guy literally said, "Oh, why don't we give you 270?"
Right. The house is worth. You bought it for 260.
Yeah.
He's giving you 270. Here's your loan.
Yeah.
Tell me how.
Yeah. So with a lot of lenders, including the smart ones, including the dumb ones, they still need more skin in the game because things can go when you really don't have anything to lose.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that you're going to let slip if times get rough. But I've got this arsenal of rental properties that I've acquired over time.
Yep.
And I like to use them not just as tax havens and, cash flow, but also they've got equity in them that can be used without any extra cost.
Right.
It's just there as like a security guard. So think of, okay, I'm going up. We're going to make this little analogy.
Okay.
I'm going up to this lender and I'm saying, hey, I'm buying this house for $250. I'm paying a wholesaler 10 grand. I want another 10 grand. Can you give me a loan for the full amount?
Right.
Most lenders are going to be like, no, and I'm going to kick you in the nuts for even asking.
Well, that smells like you should go to hell, buddy. How dare you?
But I don't care how good of a deal you're getting. I'm not going to give you 20 grand more than what you're paying for a house with no skin in the game.
Yeah.
And then I turn around to my my bodyguard, which is my 423 East Larch Avenue, which is a house. And the bodyguard steps in and says, "You're not going to give him the money? What?" And then my lender goes, "Oh, no, it's fine. I'll give him the money. It's all good."
I think that's a better analogy is if you lent the lender your bodyguard. Hey, my bodyguard's going to hang out with you for a little while.
Well, that's a better way to put it.
Yeah. My bodyguard, he's not actually like stopping you from doing the deal. He's actually saying like, he's more of like a Mel Robbins, like, hey, let me give you a hug. Everything's going to be okay.
Yeah.
He's a sweet bodyguard.
Maybe I guess that's a better way to put it.
Like he's not threatening. He's actually here to like help you. So like that bodyguard is now on the lender's side because he has a stake in the property and he has a lien on it, right?
Yeah. So they're going to put a smart title lien on it. So
what's that?
So it's extra collateral. That's like, hey, we have a claim of 100,000. So I had 100 grand of equity in this house, meaning that the property's worth, let's say 240, I think. And I have a loan for 130,000 or 120 something.
Sure.
There's more than 100 grand of equity, meaning if I were to have to sell it, I would have a check for about 100 grand if I had to sell that property at what it would sell for today, in its current condition. Now, right now, it's just being used. It's just sitting there, and it's making a small, a couple $1,000s a year in cash flow, if that.
Yeah.
But it's saving me a lot of taxes by hanging out there, and it's a safe shelter for my retirement, because over time this house is being paid off by tenants living there, and eventually it will be paid off completely, and I'll own the thing free and clear, and then it will cash flow even more, and then if I have to sell it one day, I'll get even more money. So the story gets better every month.
Sure.
But in the meantime, we can still use it as a tool to be like, hey, Mr. Lender, why don't you just if I went crazy and I destroyed this house and somehow I made it even worth less than what I'm buying it for, and you had to take a bath on the loan, meaning that you had to take the property back that I'm buying, and you still lost money, you'll at least still have a claim on my rental property that you could potentially force the sale to get your money back that you lost in this deal. So you can't have all of it, but you have additional collateral that you can make up your losses,
and it's up
from
to $100,000.
Up to 100,000.
That's what a smart title.
Well, it's just a type of coverage to get a smart title policy. It's to save money on not doing a whole new title policy, an additional title policy. It's like $50.
Cool.
Versus like $1,000.
That's awesome.
And I'm not going to get into it because I actually don't know the complexity of it. I just know that it's a cheaper way to to extra insure your loan.
And you set that up at a title company?
Yeah, the title company takes care of everything.
That's awesome.
All I do is I give them the address,
Yeah.
and then when I'm signing on it, I also sign on that I'm agreeing to $100,000 lien. And once I sell the fix and flip, that lien goes away.
Yeah, as long as the lender's paid in full.
Yep.
Yeah.
The cool thing is, once I have this secret partner. Once I make money on my house on the fix and flip, I don't have to pay him a cut for, putting his neck out there for me for getting this 100% loan.
What's cool about it as well is you don't have to make additional payments on your other property.
Right. There's no additional payments.
Yeah. I mean, it's just it's being recorded as a lien on that property for collateral on this one.
Yeah.
And what
because I'm not getting extra money.
Right. So it's not going to increase your mortgage on your other house or anything by having a second lien on it or anything. So.
Well, I mean, it is tied up. So it's a cloud.
It is tied up, but it doesn't increase your price to own the property. Yeah.
Now, something to be aware of: if I took for a long time on this fix and flip, and then all of a sudden something happened, and I needed to sell that rental property, when I go to sell it, I have to pay off the first loan, and then there's another $100,000 lien out there.
Yep.
That the lender has a claim on. So I would have to pay a certain amount down on the current mortgage,
right?
Probably all of it.
Yeah.
So pretty much all of my net proceeds might go away, but it would buy down the loan on my fix and flip.
Yeah.
So it's not like the money went away; it just got transferred.
Right. There's a transfer there.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. That's I can't remember what
unless you renegotiate with if for and I had to do this when I was selling a bunch of properties because I had collateral all over the place. But it's an easy thing to navigate when there's enough communication involved.
And I think hard money lenders, they like this policy or this way of doing business because it makes your loan is bigger because you haven't put a down payment on. So they're actually getting paid more per month back on their loan.
That's true.
Right. So they're actually making more money and they just have this piece of property that's collateral and a safety net for them. Right. Because if you had to put, I know you're buying it at 260 if we just want to go off that number. If a hard money lender needed you to come up with an extra $50,000, now their loan is now 210 and they're not making as much as they would have off of a 260 loan, if that makes sense. So they make more money and the property
and it's safer. Yeah. So they're making interest off $270,000 and their exposure is $170,000.
Yep. Because they have $100,000
on a $300,000 asset.
Right.
So that's why it becomes a no-brainer loan to a hard money lender.
Yeah.
When they look at it that way. Oh, okay. My exposure, our loan exposure here is $170,000. The asset's currently worth, not even fixed up, $300,000. Let's do it.
We're good. Yep. Those sound like good numbers.
That's how you can get away with this kind of stuff.
And so what I was going to ask, I'm sorry for kind of asking these questions, but the SMART policy, they have it up to $100,000. Does that mean they can choose to take out less of a?
Well, that's just what we agree on up front. Yeah, say, hey, I've got when I presented my deal to the hard money lender, I said, hey, I got a new deal. Here's the address, and then a quick summary on it. I'm getting it from a wholesaler for this. Looks like it's going to be a quick fix up. It should be actually, you know what? Well, no, I'm not going to share my screen.
And the reason why I'm asking is up to $100,000 versus $100,000 are two different numbers. You know what I mean? So they could take $50,000.
Well, they put a claim of $100,000.
Okay,
it's just
they put a claim of 100, not up to 100,000. Gotcha.
Yeah, they just simply put there's a lien out there for $100,000.
That makes sense. I wasn't sure how that gets debated if it's up to $100,000. It's well, maybe we take 80 or maybe we take 40.
Yeah,
it's just 100. That makes sense.
But it doesn't mean I owe them $100,000 because I haven't taken that line out. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
they put a lien of $100,000 on there, but there's no actual money that I've drawn from.
Right. Like I said, that's why it doesn't make your mortgage increase and doesn't increase your payment on that property. Right.
That's why.
Just that's good.
It's because I didn't actually take a loan for that. It's just a lien.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay. Anyway, I'm losing my train of thought here. Okay. And then, so I sent the lender an email basically that goes over, hey, here's my plan. I got this new deal under contract. I'm buying it for this. It can sell for this. Click this link and I make little hyperlinks.
Love hyperlinks.
For the comps to justify what this should be worth when it goes to sell.
Yeah.
Here's another link of current photos, what it looks like here. Here's another link of what it sold for 8 years ago, and you can look at the photos of what it looked like just 8 years ago.
Right.
That the house is actually in real good shape. I'm getting an inspection report on Monday, or I'm getting an inspection done on Monday. So I'll do further due diligence here. I can offer this property as collateral that you've already used twice.
Right. You know what this property is.
Yeah. And I reminded him because he forgets sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Lenders
you've
have a
already
lot
used
going
this. I'd like to offer this one as collateral. You've already used it in the past.
As much as you think, like, they have other clients, by the way. Like,
Right.
they're doing more of these things just like what you're doing with him. So they're doing it with a lot of other people.
Yeah. So this same property helped us. This will be the third house I'm flipping with it.
Nice.
I've had it for a while, but I don't always use it as collateral. It's one of the low. It's kind of a further out there, not as attractive cross collateral property because it's like in a small town. It's only got $100,000.
Right.
It's not as juicy, but I still have to pull it out when I'm a little over leveraged.
But when you say like it's only got $100,000, I think you're mistaken because that is a lot of equity that somebody is like considering because it's an investment project. It's not your primary residence.
Yep. It's already bringing in passive income.
It's already like a machine that's already in place, and they obviously know this because they've taken a look at it before. And they've said like, yeah, this property is worth this. Yeah, we'll give you $100,000 of whatever on this. So
yeah, because it gets freed up after every flip.
Yep, that lien goes away.
The lien goes away every flip.
Yep.
So here's that property that I can use as collateral, up to $100,000.
Yeah,
or whatever I say.
How long does it take to get the lien off the property after you close?
Oh, it's instant.
Is it?
Once that paperwork's done, within a few days, they sign a reconveyance at closing.
Right. Okay.
So it's called a reconveyance, and that's where the title company's in charge of taking that lien away when we go to resell it.
Nice.
Which you do pay for. It's an expense.
Yep. Not heavily expensive, but it's nice to know that it's there.
Yep. And then I like to take this spreadsheet that I went over with you on this podcast, and I like to upload it in that email as well, so he can look over my numbers.
Nice.
And say, this is, I've got the analyzers attached.
Right.
Looks like, let me know if you see anything that is corrected.
Right. Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. Can't remember exactly what I put in the email, but I try to break everything down to where he doesn't have to ask any additional questions.
Yeah. That's really good.
I remember when I sent him this email, I got a response probably 20 minutes later. And all it said was, let's do it.
Yep. I know which lender you're working with, and that sounds exactly like an email you'd send. We're good.
And that's a good sign. That means that he didn't have any additional questions.
Right.
I sent him an email that had everything laid out to where any questions that he might have, the resource was there in that email for him to look at.
Yeah.
So all he had to say was, let's do it.
Yeah.
And then I say, great, I'll work on insurance. That's my next step.
Yep.
So once I get that commitment, got to get the insurance lined up, and you got to have that before you close on it.
Yep.
And the insurance typically has to have the lender's information on there. So he's going to work on, which lenders are going to be involved. It's not just his money. It's like other friends and stuff.
Right. Sometimes they pool their money together in their IRAs and they do a deal together.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, actually.
So once he says, yeah, let's do it, he's going to go then sell that to his friends.
Yep.
And then he'll email me back a percentage of friends' ownerships and like, okay, this person's going to be 33% and this person's going to be 33% and this person's going to be 33%.
Or 34,
7,
whatever.
And then I take that and I send that to my insurance guy and I say, hey, I need insurance on this property. I plan to do this kind of work to it. I'll probably own it for 6 months. So let's do a 6-month policy. Blah, 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 blah.
Extend
and then you can work on that. It's a lot of forwarding emails
Yeah.
in this business.
It really is.
To keep it simple. So anyway, and then I call my contractor who I know I just sold a house to down the street.
Okay.
And she's great. She works in Kellogg and she does all kinds of repairs and stuff and painting. And I say, hey, I'm going to have a fix and flip that I'm buying. And do you have any availability the first week of September to start on a 2-week job?
Yeah.
Mostly paint and flooring.
So first week, are they moving out at the end of August?
Yeah, so they'll be moving out the first week of September.
Gotcha.
Because we're closing the first week of August, like August 5th or 4th or 5th. And then they're going to have 1 month to live there, move out. And so I wanted to line her up in advance.
Yeah, as you should.
And she said, awesome. And I sent her photos and kind of the plan. And she said, sounds great.
Does she work hourly?
She'll probably bid it out.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey,
but she's
is that
usually really fair with me. And then I'll get more details once I actually walk through this property and get the inspection done. I'm going to get a better scope of work.
Right.
and then I'm going to email her or text her or whatever again and send her probably the inspection report to look over and photos and be like, this is the work I want done. Can you give me a rough idea what you're going to charge me?
Do you go out there and meet her, or do you just do everything through email with her?
I'll walk through the house with her too.
That's a good idea. So.
But in advance, I want to prepare. I want her time in advance, her time commitment in advance. That way I don't all of a sudden own the property and then need to find a contractor.
Right. I think that's good.
Yeah, I want her to already have
first week of September. Like, I don't want you doing anything else. I'd like to pay you to do this type of thing.
Well, it makes it easier on her.
Yeah,
she knows what she's doing. She just put it in her calendar, and she doesn't have to wonder if she's going to make money in September.
Right. I love it. That's great.
So I like to try to give people enough advance notice as possible if I know I want to work with them on something.
Sure, that's good. I think that's awesome.
And then I called you because I know, shoot, now I'm going to need 13 grand, 10 to 13 grand. And I remember you told me a few days before that, you're like, yeah, I just contributed this to my 401k. So if you ever want to partner on a deal, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, hey, let's start that. I'm like, Jeremy he'd probably go for this.
By the way, private money lenders out there. Yeah. It's so easy to find places to put your money. All you have to do is talk to people.
Just say, I have money.
I have money to put in your deal. Let me know if you want to talk. And that opens up so many lines of communication.
So I forgot how I presented it to you. I think I tried calling. You never answer, which is fine because you're always on appointments.
Yeah, it's nothing personal. Please don't take it. Like,
but I think I just asked, like, hey, do you have 10 grand or 10, 13 grand or something like that?
Yeah,
that you want to go in on something. And I offered to pay you 18% returns because I knew it's going to be a small, probably, a 3 to 6 month job.
Yeah.
Which would actually be more, like 9% in my head.
Right.
And I know that money, if it's 10 to 13 grand, and it's going to be, what's 18% of that is approximately $1,800.
Yeah.
It's probably about $1,000 if it's half that time.
Right.
So, hey, I can pay $1,000 to Capital One and not have any permission from anybody, or I can let my friend make some money.
Yeah.
And be like, hey, you want in on this?
Yeah.
And that money comes off my net profits.
Yeah.
So I know, okay, instead of making 50 grand, I'm going to make 49
right.
or, 48 or whatever. I don't care. And if I'm making more than 30 grand, I'm happy.
Right. And the cool thing about using my 401k or IRA for these deals is like, it's all tax free because it's Roth money, right? So that money I don't have to pay income tax on. I don't have to pay capital gains tax on. I don't have to pay rental tax income. It's just, you pay me $1,000. Now I have that much more money to invest next time I go 4 months down the road. So it works out really well.
Really well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what else? What didn't we cover on this one? I felt like we did
talked about how you acquisition, how you paying for it. You're going to be selling it.
What I'm going to be doing to it. What I decided to do with it. Well, I guess we'll stay tuned.
Yeah,
we'll see.
We'll probably have another case study once we finish this one.
Yeah,
and then we can kind of see.
You make your most returns fixing and flipping a house with paint and flooring. The kitchen's in really good shape, so there's no need to do anything there.
Yeah.
The appliances look like they were just purchased 8 years ago, so maybe they could just be cleaned up, deep cleaned.
Yeah.
And they're all included with the purchase.
Make sure your contractor opens that fridge instead of you.
Well, it's not a house that's been sitting vacant for a year, so we're not going to have those kind of issues. But you never know. You never know what kind of issues you're going to have, and that's why it's important to have an inspection. One thing I'm aware of in that area is that the sewers all were messed up.
Yeah.
And so I have my, and I wanted to see should we pay the money to get a sewer scope? Because that's a couple $100. Or I could just have my assistant do some research with Kellogg, the city, and say, hey, do they ever get a permit for swapping out their sewer? Which everybody was required to over the last 5 years, 10 years. And she found out, actually they didn't, but they had to do an emergency sewer replacement that the city bought and paid for.
Gotcha.
And then the city has a lien against them that they're making payments on.
Gotcha. So that'll all be paid off.
$2,000. So we're like, oh, good. So it's already been done. Let's not worry about a sewer scope.
Sure.
But let's alert the title company. Hey, just in case you don't see this, the city's owed money for this sewer thing, and so that it's extra money that we don't want to get stuck with if we're buying the house.
Do you know how much money they owe for that sewer replacement?
It was like $3,000 or something like that.
But still, it's good to know those numbers just in case. Because if $3,000 eats into your $37,000 of profit, it starts dwindling away.
Yeah, I want to make sure that they pay for it, which they're going to pay for it,
right?
But something that we found out, the more important thing is I don't have to do it, which is great.
Even better. It's already been done.
But I'm glad I know that in advance.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, excuse me.
So you're planning on holding
Mountain
this thing?
Zevia is starting to make me burpy.
The Mountain Zevia, that's what it's called, correct. So you're planning on holding it for 4 months, obviously probably a couple month buffer.
Yeah, so there's going to be a couple of months of before we can get it on the market. And then at least probably a couple of months to sell it. Even if it just takes 2 weeks to sell, it's still going to be on probably 45 days or so in escrow. And then it can always fall through, and then that time starts over again where it can turn into 6 months.
Yeah.
If it has to turn over, if buyers all of a sudden don't qualify at the last minute, you have to find new buyers, then that can restart your clock another couple months.
Yep.
So that's why I say 4 to 6 months.
Sure. And we'll write it in our terms of the loan. I'll put it up to 12 months.
Yeah, which you usually do.
Right, just in case, because things don't. You're in this business enough, you realize 4 is never 4. Just like you say, your renovation 10's never 10.
Yeah,
just hey,
they're all
let's
just
do worst case scenario.
The best guesses we can come up with based off experience.
And what I don't want to do is I don't want to set up loan paperwork for you this is for 4 months only, blah blah blah, and then us have to be in 4 months be what are we doing?
And I'm sweating oh god, I owe him money.
Right? No. We set this thing up for worst case scenario, and then worst case scenario, you keep my money longer, I just make more money.
Yeah, it's not a worse.
Yeah,
it's not the worst thing.
Yeah, only thing that would be missing is opportunity cost of new deals, but I think you're paying me pretty handsomely for this one, so I'm not really.
And if it takes longer, the worst thing that happens to me is my projected net profits that I didn't really work for that hard go down a little.
Yeah.
Poor me.
Boy, I flipped the house and didn't make money.
That's what's nice about flipping houses and trying to offload almost everything. Because now, here's the cool thing on this spreadsheet. I'm not going to share my screen again, but you guys can find this on your own. It shows you just above the net profit without the loan. So if I didn't have a loan, and if I did this myself, without any lender partners, I would probably make about 12 to 13 grand more. So $62,834. And actually probably another 1,000 or 2 on top of that if I brought the renovation money too.
Sure.
Also, I'd probably save, 2 or 3 grand if I did all the renovation myself.
Right.
But
your time's more important.
Now, but the risk of doing that, all of a sudden I risk 2 months of my time.
Yep.
Busy with something else.
You're also not great at
risk
this kind of
all
work.
that cash that I have, which I can be getting better returns somewhere else potentially. So you gotta know. Now, if I was just sitting at home and I did one flip a year and I had the cash, maybe I would do that. If I didn't have any other jobs and I just went on vacation, 3 times a year.
Yeah.
Maybe that would be a great thing for me at another time in my life.
Yeah.
But right now I've got enough going on to where it's totally worth not making an additional $15,000.
Yep.
To bring other people involved, have other people bring the money.
Yep.
Have other people bring the renovation money. Have other people bring their time renovating the property, which that's what they do for a living, and they got to feed their kids too.
Yep.
Have other, you have those 3 things covered by other people, and then all you have to do is just kind of coordinate some stuff. And if you make less money, it's not the worst thing. You're not oh, but I spent all that time on this.
Right.
I really didn't spend that much time. Now, I did spend a lot of time getting to this point where I really understand it really well.
That's not something that happens overnight.
But now you get privileged the longer you're in this business by just knowing what to anticipate and who to work with.
Right. I think that's great. That's really good advice. And the more you do it, obviously, I think the easier it gets for you because you've learned from your mistakes, I hope, on every project you've done.
And I've made mistakes on every project.
And you'll continue doing it. I'm not saying
and I'll make
perfect.
a mistake on this one somewhere.
Yeah, and that's fine. It's to be expected. I think it's important to know that it's expected to make mistakes. Nobody does this perfectly. Not even people who run these businesses flawlessly. With project management and all these other things, mistakes just happen. This is real estate. We're dealing with tangible things.
Yeah.
Wood, objects that break down, people that don't show up. It's inevitable.
Yeah.
So,
but I must say, I mean, sometimes I think the worst part of being in this business for a while is we forget to get excited.
Yeah.
And we forget to just be appreciative and grateful to have the opportunity to make 50 grand for barely working. Because that's not the way I grew up.
Right.
And I've just got to thank the real estate gods out there that this opportunity exists and that, Yeah, and that you're involved.
Yeah,
and I appreciate it. Like
yeah.
50 grand goes a long way these days. Not as long as it used to.
Right.
I'm
not giving you 50,
I'll
but,
spend it real fast.
I'm giving you 10, but yeah.
But it's still pretty cool to just be in a business to make that kind of. I think it's, I don't know. I can't think of anything else to make that kind of money other than option trading,
which you're not doing anymore.
Which is just a huge gamble. This is like calculated, very calculated risks that really aren't that risky.
Yeah, it's not risky because you know what you're doing, and you can anticipate an outcome. You cannot anticipate an outcome in stocks.
Yeah,
like if you do this work, the house will be worth more money. There's no denying that. Just a matter of how much, of course, and what time. But if you put in the work, it will come back to you.
I hope so.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. Well said.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Let us know if there's any topics you want us to go over.
Yeah.
And
if you're still here, first of all, bless your little hearts for sticking with us for an hour and 5 minutes about a deal analyzation. But we have a school community. We should probably start hitting that at the beginning of the episode.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if you want to be a part of our mastermind, which Jeremy is now a part of our mastermind.
Thank you for
Congratulations.
Yeah, I got the email. I'm like, I'm a part.
It's go to school.com, and that's SKOOL. So you spell it like school. And we're Investor Shed.
Yeah.
Investor Shed.
It's a community you have to request to join. It's free to join as for now.
Yep.
So come talk to other investors, maybe talk about what deals you're doing, or if you need help with your deals. Like, I think there's other people in there who are analyzing and willing to help you. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you want to, we have a call once a week so far, Tuesday morning. So if you want to be a part of that, that's a great opportunity to just get your questions answered.
Yeah.
So thanks for joining again, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for checking out the Investor Shed podcast. If you enjoyed your time, make sure to leave a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Follow along on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram at The Investor Shed for shorts and promos about each episode. Do you want to be a guest or know someone who has great real estate investing advice and stories? Reach out to us at theinvestorshed@gmail.com.